With Minecraft 1.21 right around the corner, these are 3 farms you need to build before the update. And what better farm to start off with than the iron farm, so we're going to mine out a 5x5 by 9 deep hole, and that is going to contain the entirety of our iron farm. And after digging out that hole, we're going to grab our blocks now, and we're going to place down 2 sets of blocks on both sides of this hole, just like this, so that way we can have our beds nice and compact, because the villagers are going to need these beds in order to summon iron golems, so we're really just creating a fake village here. So we're going to mine out the blocks underneath of the beds after we place them, and go ahead and place down another row of beds, and we're going to do this on the other side as well. And after placing all of your beds, let's just take a moment to jump around. We work too much here. We're going to have some fun until you inevitably fall off. That is actually like a 2-meter drop. That would probably break your bones in real life. Well, that was fun. Let's keep going. The next thing we're going to do is place a row of blocks in between these beds. That way cats can't spawn inside of that crack, because that would dramatically hurt your rates of the farm. We're then going to place down a block in the center here, and then a block in every one of these corners on the 3rd layer of your hole. We're then going to place down a torch in the center of the room. Then we're going to grab our workstations, in my case fletching tables, but you can use whatever workstation you would want, especially if you're going to be trading with these villagers. A quick note though is that composters and lecterns will both create librarians and farmers, and those two will not work in the rain, meaning that if it is raining, there will be no iron golem spawning if you end up using lecterns and composters. That made sense. The next thing we need to do is get 2 villagers inside of the farm, and the reason I say 2 villagers is because, speaking from personal experience, it is much easier to just breed your villagers inside of this farm instead of bringing them from a village or from a villager breeder. So I'd recommend just bringing 2 villagers over here and then breeding them inside this hole. And you do that by just giving them potatoes, carrots, beetroot, bread, it doesn't matter. And then you just throw it at them, they'll trade, and then we will have 20 villagers given some time. But yeah, just take 2 villagers, trust me on that one. Breeding them in the hole is a lot easier. And unfortunately, this farm won't work with green coats because they can't link to a workstation, so we're going to have to go ahead and kill off all of the nitwits. And any baby villagers, just let them grow up, but once the farm is actually up and running, baby villagers can't work either, so they also won't link to the farm. And it seems that I have an extra villager in here, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of him. But now I have 20 villagers, and hopefully you do too. After getting 20 villagers inside the farm, we're going to pick a wall, and this is going to be the wall where we have our AFK room and our storage system. And I'm going to pick this wall right here. So we're going to come to the 3rd block of this layer, so 1 block above the villagers' heads. We're going to mine out 2 blocks right here, and then 2 blocks right here. We're then going to mine up to the surface here, so that way we can get in and out of the farm. And we're going to mine over this block and this block. Place down a double chest right here, so that way we can have our storage, and then come to the other side of the farm, and we're going to run 3 hoppers into this chest, just like that. After that, we can grab our blocks, and we're going to fully fill in this floor now, and that is going to make it so that this is our spawn platform for the iron golems. And make sure that that torch is there. I don't remember mentioning it, but it's super important, so make sure the torch is there, or you will have a zombie spawn, and then your entire farm will be garbage. But there we go. So we are now ready to build the kill chamber. And building the kill chamber is super simple. All we have to do is place down 3 campfires on these hoppers. If you can afford it, use soul campfires because they do double damage, which is going to make the farm even quicker. We're then going to grab our signs and place down a sign right here. You can't really see a sign right here and a sign right here. Because the smoke is in the way, basically just leave a 1 block hole above the sign here. So that way we can place down a lava block. So that way, any iron golems that get pushed over are going to burn in the lava and on the campfires. We're going to place down a water bucket in the other corner here so that everything gets pushed over into this corner. And as you can see, this cat is already dying. He is going to take a minute. Cats will run away, but the iron golems are just going to continuously burn. There we go. We killed the cat. If we check in here, we should have some string any second now. Or that guy just didn't drop any. And one of the very last things that you need to do is grab your ladders, place down 2 ladders right here, and then a trapdoor on this 2nd block. So that way we can open this up and go in and out of our AFK room. When we're ready to AFK, just shut the trapdoor, stand right here, and we will just get tons and tons of iron, and you're nice and safe from all of the zombies and whatnot. Another quick note is make sure that that storage chest is a chest, because if you use barrels, that will cause your villagers to link up to the barrel as a workstation, and that is just going to make your farm a mess. The last thing I will mention is leaves. You've probably seen this where there are leaves and then slabs here and then leaves going all the way around. This is purely aesthetics. There's absolutely no reason to do this. I personally like the way it looks. If you don't need it. People say it's spawn proofing, but that is quite literally impossible because our village is actually underground and iron golems will only spawn 5 blocks above the village, making the ground a completely impossible spawn location. So again, there is no reason to add the leaves. And just like that, we now have an iron golem in here. As you can see, he is burning quite fast. And as I said earlier, the cats will run away from the fires, but the iron golem is just going to sit there and burn. Really weird and really important to note, though, is for some reason, when you create a new world, if you create the world with always day activated, meaning that I created the world like this, iron golems won't spawn. For some reason, villages won't spawn iron golems if you create a world with always day, but because I do daylight cycle on and then turn it back off, now it's working. So now iron golems spawn, so make sure that you don't... Just make sure you turn on daylight cycle at least once in your world. And of course, AFK food farms are amazing, so let's build a chicken farm. This would go great with your iron farm because you could have them in the same area so that while you're getting iron, you're also getting chicken. So we're going to place down a chest right here, grab a hopper, run the hopper into the back of that chest. Then we're going to grab our trapdoors. We're going to place down 2 temporary blocks right there, place down trapdoors on both sides of those temporary blocks. I should have used different blocks. There we go. Open this up just like that. We're going to place down a block on the back side of that hopper. So chest, hopper, block. Then we're going to place down a dispenser pointing towards the hopper. Place down a slab in front of that dispenser, and then a block on top of the dispenser. The next thing we're going to do is grab our glass and place down 2 glass blocks above the chest, and then grab our lava bucket and place it above the slab. Now what we're going to do is grab another block and place it on this block with a trapdoor in front of it over top of the lava. Now this is the most important part. Make sure that this is a trapdoor or some sort of transparent block. Glass is another great option. Make sure it is not a solid block like a stone brick block. If you do this, what will happen is a baby chicken will grow up into the lava, become an adult, he will get cooked, you'll get the chicken, but all the baby chickens will also glitch out and die. So this is super important. Make sure that this is a transparent block because then the farm will function normally. Transparent block, please. And now that I have reinforced the importance of that being a transparent block, we're going to place down an observer right here, leaving a 1 block gap, so that way the red dot is visible from the back. We're then going to place down another observer facing in the opposite direction, so that way they are ticking off of one another. And if you come over here, you should see it repeatedly flashing, which means that this dispenser is constantly being updated, which is exactly what we want, so that way it automatically throws out the chicken eggs. We're going to run a hopper into the back of that dispenser now, grab your temporary blocks and place down 2 blocks above that hopper, and then place blocks all the way around those temporary blocks. Go ahead and mine out these 2 temporary blocks now. We're going to go ahead and throw in all of the eggs we have at this given moment, just so that way it's a little easier to get them in here, because once we place down the ladder and trapdoor, it gets a little bit messier, but we want to have at least 2 chickens in here. If you don't have the eggs to do this, then you could easily just grab spawn eggs and breed chickens. That's another reason why you get into the flow of things and then eggs are so annoying. Jeez, I want another chicken, just one more. There we go. Once you have 2 chickens in there, though, we are good. Place down your ladder, place down your trapdoor, just like this, so that way you can climb in and out of here without the chickens escaping. And another great feature is you should be able to just remove one of these observers. All of the eggs are going to get stuck in this dispenser, so you'd have like 9 stacks of eggs. So then you can come back here, throw all 9 stacks back into the top chest, so that way you have more chickens, which means more eggs, which means more baby chickens. So at the end of the day, I would recommend having about 50 chickens in this top area, which would give you a very nice flow of food. AFK food, again, this works really, really well with the iron farm. We've got AFK food, we've got AFK iron. What is next? AFK XP. It's the only answer. This is the perfect farm to go with the other 2 because you can AFK fish while you are getting iron from your iron farm and while you're getting cooked chicken from your chicken farm. These 3 farms are like the trifecta of getting started in Minecraft. We're going to mine out a 4-block strip, place down 2 chests right here, and then run a hopper into the back of that chest. We're going to place down a fence post on top of the hopper with a pressure plate on top of that fence post. We're then going to place down a water bucket flowing into this hole, place down a note block right here, place down a temporary block above the note block, and then place down an iron trap door, so that way when you walk into the pressure plate, it opens upwards like that. and that is the entire farm. If you want to make it silent, just place down a block on top of your note block. I'm going to change that though. I don't like the grass block. And after that super easy building experience, all you need to do is get an auto clicker. So if you're on PC, this is an awesome auto clicker. If you're on any sort of Android device, there are so many auto clickers available. iOS, I'm not entirely sure. And if you're on console, I'm sorry, you're left out of this one. But if we take a look, you can see that I've set it to 1200 milliseconds with the mouse button set to right click. Now this is very dependent on your personal experience, so 1200 seems to work for me, but try out anything between 800 and 1600 milliseconds, because it really does depend on your connection to the game. So if you've got lots of lag, you're going to need a little bit more delay. If you've got no lag, then you're going to want less delay, because then it will just take too long. So it really is a trial and error game. Once you have your set speed, we're going to line it up here. So you're on the edge of that pressure plate. Go ahead and start your auto clicker now, and we can just sit here and wait until we catch something. If you want to get a better fishing rod, I don't recommend enchanting one, because you will easily catch a better fishing rod by fishing, because they are obviously everywhere. I don't know how many fishing rods I have in my survival world, but this is an awesome farm, and as you can see, we just caught a fish. So if we go ahead and stop our auto clicker now, we go ahead and take a look. We got one rock cod. Of course, the more you use this farm, the better your fishing rod will get. So then you'll end up getting more experience, more treasure, and honestly, more fish as well, more everything. So this is an amazing farm. These are 3 farms that work so good together, because you can use them all at once and just leave your PC running, which is absolutely incredible. You will literally come back to thousands and thousands of super valuable drops, which is why I think that these are awesome farms to build, either going into the 1.21 update, or honestly, once the 1.21 update comes out. These are 3 of the first farms that you should build. It's a no-brainer. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is 1UpMC, and I will catch you guys in the next one.